YouTube, what is up? Good morning. We are en route to the gym. We are somewhere in the 4:30 range. I'm not super positive. I hadn't looked at the time. I just know whenever I do these cinematic shots, like they're really fun to make, kind of building out that storyline for the video, but they just take some time. But if you are new here or you're a subscriber, you're clicking on this video for one, you're wanting to see what I'm up to and watch the newest video, or two, you want to see a simple approach to working out, eating, and just living a simple, healthy life. You will resonate with my content if you're new here or this video. If you prefer just a pretty laid back life, like you want some creative outlets, you want to have a purpose, but you're not out here just like chasing success at the expense of your health. Like you care about the food you eat, you care about the people you're around, you care about getting sunlight, being outside, being in nature. That's kind of what I guess like the overall concept of my videos. And that's really just what I'm trying to get across with my videos, is just to show you guys my day-to-day, take you kind of behind the scenes, because I always talk about your daily actions or your inputs are what make you successful. And you guys have probably heard the phrase that success leaves clues, and it's the truth. And that's what we're going to be diving into this video, because I have a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, Eric, you know, how do you build muscle like that? Like, how did you build your physique? Like, I'm working out 6 days a week. I'm doing all this cardio, all this conditioning, you know, I'm doing all this stuff, and I can't get those results. And that's what I'm just going to break down, because I feel like I talk about some of the same things in most videos, but the more people that I coach, that get my course, that join the Discord, it's like repetition. It's just repetitive of the same questions and the same questions. So if you're new here, my mission is just to help guys go from average to jacked. Like, it's taken me years to kind of hone that or figure that out, but I feel that God put me on this earth to help shine my light, to help people become healthier, fitter, more confident with fitness and just leveling up your mindset. So that's kind of what my content is going to revolve around. So if you enjoy stuff like that, if you want to see stuff like that, I don't say this much, but just consider subscribing, because it'll help the channel grow. And I post videos, well, most of the time once a week, like on a Saturday or a Sunday, because I still work, you know, a job, and I'm balancing a lot of things in life. But we are headed to the gym. First thing in the morning, I do a tablespoon of honey, some pre-workout, bring some water with me. Really simple, pretty much train fasted other than the honey. And we're gonna jump into a workout, and then I'll do a voiceover. But the plan for this video today is to take you guys behind the scenes and show you, this is how I work out, this is what I eat for breakfast, this is what I eat for lunch, this is what I snack on, this is what I eat for dinner. Because like I said a second ago, is if success leaves clues, if you inspire to look like me, knowing that I do not take steroids, no matter how many times I say that, people still comment. They're like, why don't you answer that question? Like, are you natural? Do you take steroids? I'm like, dude, I'm anti-steroids in every video that I make. So I don't really know if you're just a new subscriber, or, you know, have you not kind of watched through the content. Gym is completely empty. It's always good. So in the morning time, when I'm coming here before work at the same time, there's people all in here. So I guess more people sleep in. For me, it's just better if I stay on my routine. So even Saturday, even Sunday, I'm still up at like 3:30 a.m. But back to the whole anti-steroids thing. It's like, if you want to look like me, if you're inspired by my physique, then just take the things that I'm telling you and then implement them. Like, people in the Discord, people in the comment section, like, you guys want these results, but you can't figure out how to just shut your brain off. It's like, go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week, progressively overload, eat real nutrient dense whole foods, continue to learn. So read some books, watch some podcasts, daily walks, get outside and walk. And I say the learning part because, like, just expand your mind. You know, I'm not saying you got to go learn all this stuff about fitness, but just like, more than likely you're watching this, you're on a journey to level up in your life. So just consume intentionally, like consume things that are going to level up your life. Go on daily walks, consume while you're walking, recover, get in bed at a decent time, follow a routine. It's like, that's really all it takes. Like, you don't have to go watch all these science-based videos and macro tracking and all this like super in-depth stuff. Like, it helps you, but if you're a chronic overthinker, you need to think in like first principles. It's like, how does a muscle grow? Or why does a muscle grow? It grows because it is anticipating that future stimulus applied again. So when you put stress on a muscle, also known as lifting weights, your body then, it signals your body to think, in the future, I might experience this again, so I need to adapt and recover and grow bigger, so the next time I have that challenge, I can easily overcome it. But during that process, if your body does not have the right material, aka food or sleep, then it's not going to do that effectively. So if you just look at it in first principles, like, I need to get in the gym, I need to work out hard, because if I don't train hard, it's not going to signal my body to grow. I then need to eat the right foods that have nutrients and vitamins in them to then help me recover, and then I need to sleep, and then I need to continue to learn to get better, and I need to continue to practice, which is continue to show up and follow a routine. So if that right there doesn't, like, if you're not someone who can take that information and then just go straight to applying it, what I'm going to say is, like, first thing is get off of social media, stop watching so many videos, stop consuming so much content, and do some like self-reflection. Because I've always been like a chronic overthinker myself and a chronic content consumer on things, because it's like I'm want to get it perfect. I don't want to waste time. Like, I'm like, what is the perfect routine, or what is the perfect business model, or what is the perfect way to make YouTube videos? And finally, I realized, like, I need to just take the advice that I give to you guys on fitness with YouTube, and I need to just turn the camera on and start making content. And sure enough, I start doing that. I start learning. I start seeing results from consistency, not overthinking. So if you're overthinking fitness, if you're fat, you're skinny, you want to be aesthetic, you want to build muscle, stop overthinking it and follow the plan. But do not follow the plan for 2 months. Do not follow the plan for 3 months. Follow the plan for years, because fitness is a marathon and not a sprint. I don't care if you go to the most jacked dude in the world, the Mr. Olympias and the bodybuilders or whatever. They could work with you every single day, give you the same meals they're eating. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change for a long time. It takes time. No one's going to lift the weights for you. You have to show up. And that's why my videos now are more getting into like the mindset piece of, why are you overthinking? Why are you not eating the food you know you should eat when you want the goal of becoming aesthetic or building muscle? Why are you not showing up to the gym? Why are you half-assing your workout and leaving early or scrolling on your phone? Like, the more and more people that I coach, the more I'm trying to get into like the why aren't you doing it, even though you have the information. We all have ChatGPT. We all have enough information to learn anything we want. The new like hack in the world, or the new like thing that sets you apart, is the person that can implement. The person that can just act like a robot. It's like, you guys see me and I get questions all the time like, Eric, what time do you go to sleep if you're waking up at 3:30 or 4? It's like, I get to bed at like 8, so I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes I'll sleep in later than 3:30 to like 3:45 or 4. Sometimes I wake up at 3, but it's like 3 to 4. And what I've found is, back when I used to like sleep in, I was all over the place with my goals. I was pretty miserable in my head because I always wanted to be pursuing something. So to you guys, this might seem excessive that I'm waking up early, but now I'm like the most fulfilled, or like the happiest I've been, because I found a system that works for me. And once you find your system or your workout plan or whatever you are using, what I'm telling you guys, whatever you're applying it to right now in your mind, if you can just act like a robot, it's like, show up every day, eat the food, do the workout, learn the material, implement the material, build the business, keep working, keep showing up. Oh, I woke up this morning and I don't feel like it. I'm kind of pissed off. I had a bad day at work. I'm like in a fight with my partner, or life threw me some curveball and I got bills, and just like whatever that is, it's like, dude, you're going to have those things. You're going to go through these highs and these lows, these highs and these lows. It's like, ride the highs, but also ride the lows. You're gonna have to show up anyway. And that's what I figured out, was like, I always would make a lot of progress when I was excited and when I was happy and when everything was going good. And then when the day kind of sucked, I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. But guess what? That means you'll never get the result. So do it whether you feel like it or not. think about it as like a robot. It's like you have these tasks to do every single day. Figure out what the tasks are and then go after them. So I started off talking about, like, you know, if you're inspired by my physique or whoever's content, figure out what that person has done, because success leaves clues, implement it, and you're probably going to get close to the same result. Obviously, genetics play a role, luck plays a role, a lot of things, but just reverse engineer the process and then just stick to it. I'm going to jump into a workout, finish this pre-workout out before anybody gets to the gym, just so I kind of have the gym to myself. I might record some more talking stuff in there, but it's probably just going to be a voiceover because it's easier where I can focus on my workout. But the plan for this video is to show you guys the breakfast, lunch, dinner, pretty much just take you through my day, show you what I do on a day-to-day basis, that I'm not someone who's doing these crazy things behind the scenes, and I'm just a pretty like normal dude who just lives life, is just trying to be positive, live in my faith, you know, spend time with my family, my dogs, be outside, and overall just like have a purpose and a passion in this life and continue to move forward. So all right, so this part in the video, I'm going to be touching on my workout routine, because I have so many new subscribers coming on board with my YouTube channel finally starting to grow. And I just like to make sure that I'm giving you guys like an overview and an understanding. That way you don't have to go back through all these videos. And it's easy for me to do that because my fitness approach is super simple. So I train 3 days a week right now. I've got a lot of stuff going on in my life, and when that happens, I always go back to 3 days. But the clients that I coach normally put on 4 days. So can you make more gains on 4 days a week, training a muscle twice a week? Possibly, but I'm more on the stance of as long as volume is equal. So if you're training 3 days a week and you can fit the same amount of volume in those workouts, you're probably going to get similar growth. For me, I train push, pull, legs 3 days a week. For years and years, I trained upper lower, and that's what I still promote, even over push, pull, legs. Really, the only reason I'm doing this now is because I just want to kind of experiment. And this is not something I recommend to most people, but I always say is once you've mastered the fundamentals and you've built a decent, you know, base, then branch out and start finding what you enjoy. So you're probably going to even recognize that I use the new tricep machine in this workout. And that is the fun of not, you know, trying to be some competitive bodybuilder or trying to take fitness like to the extremes. It's like you just go in, you make sure you're getting stronger, you make sure you log your workouts, but you just, you know, you do things that you enjoy, you do exercises. So recently I've started doing more flies instead of just standard barbell movements, and I'm seeing more chest growth. But before I dive into the actual system, I want to touch on training hard, because this is something that I've overlooked for so many years. And I used to just say like progressive overload is how you build muscle, and it has truth to it. Do not, you know, take that out of context. Like progressive overload is super important. But what I've realized is people are starting out way lower in weight than what they actually could do if they push themselves. So when they're progressively overloading and getting stronger, it's like, yes, they're getting stronger, but you probably could have already got that weight. You just never really pushed yourself. So it's like, how do you figure out how to push yourself? It's like, dude, you go to war with the weights. It's like when you go to the weight room, you flip the switch and it's like, okay, it's go time. Like it's time to put in the work. And I don't really like, maybe it's just something you learn over time, but you go hard, man. Like you push the weight and you keep pushing, and it's like your mind's telling you to stop. And I think David Goggins says, like, you know, when your mind tells you to stop, you still got 30 or 40% more to go. What I'm meaning is like when your brain starts telling you to stop and you start to put that weight down, that's where that growth is really happening. So it's like, find that threshold, push through it, face the resistance, push yourself. And it's like, get to the gym 3 days a week. Follow an upper lower split or push pull legs like I'm following. Pick 2 to 3, maybe 4. This is kind of where we get into the nitty gritty of it, but I don't want to make this, I want to make this simple for you guys. Let's say 3 main movements. Do maybe on the first movement for strength, 5 to 8 reps. If you want to do the 1 rep training max, watch some of my older videos, you'll learn more. You know, you've got your exercises. So if you're doing push, then you're picking 3 movements. So maybe it's the incline bench, the dumbbell bench press, incline, and then you're going to do incline fly. So there's 3 incline movements to target the upper chest for aesthetics. And then for accessories, you're doing some tricep work for 2 exercises and maybe some lateral raises. all you have to do now is just stay consistent. It's like do 5 to 8 reps on the first exercise, 8 to 12 reps on the second and third exercise, 3 sets for each of these exercises, and then move on to your accessory work, go 8 to 12 reps. And then the goal is to add 1 rep to each set every single workout. Now, when you're new, you probably can add reps to every single set, which is good. But eventually, as you like become intermediate, that'll start to slow down. But I'm so passionate about this because I know you guys watching want to change your body. You're not happy with what you see. And it's like my system in my head is so simple. And the guys that I coach that get results, they see how simple it is. And it just frustrates me because I'm like, dude, you could be jacked if you just followed the system. If you just gave time, and you stay consistent. It's not complicated. Fitness is not complicated. Ignore and unsubscribe and unfollow anyone that ever tells you it is. But if you feel like you're still confused and you want more information, then click the link below this video or in the comment sections to check out my program, Average to Jacked. Literally, there are video modules that take you step by step so you're not confused. You know exactly what to do. There's an app to track your lifts. There's cooking and nutrition, and it's literally the system I created to take people from average to jacked, and I've gotten a lot of good reviews on it. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, click the link below. Just made it back from the gym. In that voiceover, I'm sure that, because I haven't recorded yet, I'm sure that I would have broke down the simple approach to fitness. Now that we're in the kitchen and I'm starting off with my first meal, I'm gonna break down the simplicity of nutrition from my angle, like in my opinion. A lot of people, when they get into fitness, especially with so much information out there from bodybuilders, and people overlook health. Like they focus so much on the look and the aesthetics, and they're just like, if it fits your macros. Like you can eat all of this candy, this ice cream, pizza, fast food, as long as it fits your macros, you're good. But why do you guys think we have a health crisis? Like, why do you think there's like an epidemic going on with obesity, with cancer rates, with all these different things? People cannot correlate that with the things that they're consuming. Like what you're consuming is made up of a certain material. When it goes in your body processes it. So how do you think your body processes some like man-made fast food that's like bioengineered with all of like 70 ingredients versus like an apple or some organic grass-fed ground beef? My principles on food is just basically eat real nutrient-dense organic whole foods. And I know that's like a lot of words, but it basically comes down to eat your fruits, eat your vegetables. For healthy fats, avocados, nut butters, peanut butter, almond butter. I've moved away from dairy. I actually implemented it, a couple months back, but I've noticed, because I cut it out years ago, I noticed that my nose was getting stopped up, and then I was starting to like get stopped up in my ears. So the only thing I've changed is adding in dairy, because I was trying to gain weight, and I've always struggled with, eating a lot of calories, and milk is just a way to down a bunch of calories. So now I'm cutting that out, and I'm moving back to the plant-based milks like almond milk. So this is what I use. And when I'm talking about if it fits your macros, one thing that you guys should look out for if you're trying to move on to like a healthier path is anything, hopefully that will pick up and focus. Let me see. So you see on there, it says included 0 added sugars. So added sugars are a lot of the reason why we're suffering with so much health, like a health crisis, obesity rates. People don't correlate that like the Cokes that they're drinking, the Coca-Colas, the sodas, all these things, like nearly you can go in your kitchen right now if you're kind of eating whatever and you're just like getting introduced to health. Look at your ketchups, look at your sauces, look at anything in your cabinets. They're probably loaded with added sugars. When you start to do your research on what added sugars actually do to your body, as far as like dopamine, inflammation in the brain, just like spiking things, lowering things, it's probably the reason your mood's all over the place. It's probably the reason you're irritable, you're depressed, you're anxious. When you move to a healthier diet, your brain is sharper, your mood kind of stabilizes. You know, the biggest thing I battle with is caffeine. I've just used caffeine for so long, ever since I started lifting, that it's kind of the one thing that I'm like okay with doing, because I only consume like 150 milligrams. But if you are trying to move to more of a cleaner or healthier diet, just start with whole foods. It's like you don't have to overthink it. Just grass-fed, organic ground beef, free-range chicken, so chicken thighs, chicken breast, chicken wings, for your carbohydrates, rice, so like jasmine rice, sweet potatoes, yellow potatoes, almond butters, avocados, cooked with avocado oil. Like, I break all this down in my course, like step by step, by the way. So I'm kind of just giving you guys an overview because there's like a lot more that goes into this. But, you know, don't overthink it. Just like fitness, it's like, what did we eat 50 years ago or 100 years ago? Why were our obesity rates at an all-time low, and why has our health declined so much? What are the chemicals you're consuming from the stuff that you cook with? What does your water contain? Like, I'm not trying to come off as like a conspiracy guy or a health nut, but when you get off that processed food like me, like I used to eat a large pizza, Ben and Jerry's, I would like sit down to watch these UFC fight nights on like a Saturday, and I literally would go to Domino's, I'd get a large pizza, Ben and Jerry's, and I'd get candy. And I was like, oh, if it fits your macros, like I'm bulking. It's a cheat meal. And it's like, dude, then I'm like wrecked for the next 5 days. My digestive system's messed up. I'm all stuffy. My face is breaking out. So just think deep on what you're eating. What does your body crave? Probably single ingredient, real whole foods that God put on this earth. Stuff from the trees, stuff from the land. You know, if you're going to eat animals, you're going to eat beef, you're going to eat chicken. It's like, it probably shouldn't be fed corn and soy, because then you're getting that nutrition secondhand when you consume it. It probably should be consuming its natural diet, which is just kind of free ranging or free reign out in the fields, doing what they do and eating what they're supposed to eat. So that's a long rant. I'm going to make this smoothie. Smoothie is finished. I think I mentioned that today was a Saturday, so it's an off day from work. And with the title of this video kind of being like my simple approach to working out, eating, and just life, like on the weekends, like I wake up early when I'm not working out. Like tomorrow, I'll wake up early and then I'll work on the YouTube content, respond to comments, course material, things like that. But for the most part, man, I just chill. Like, I like to go outside. I like to get sunlight. I like to like ground, walk around barefooted, do landscaping, stay active. The task that we have this weekend is, when we moved into this house, we tried to paint these floors, and it's already coming up, even though I sealed it, and I feel like I followed the procedure exactly as I should, but it might have just needed a couple of coats. So we've got hardwood floors we're going to be putting in, or vinyl plank flooring. So that's kind of the task for the weekend. But with my simple approach, it's like, when you're getting to the gym 3 to 4 days a week, you're eating real foods, the next step is like, just get out in nature. Like, get away from social media, especially the Instagram Explore page. Like, I have Instagram because I'm a content creator, obviously, but I consume nothing on there. Like, I used to have a really bad habit of getting on there and just automatically clicking on the Explore page, and it's like, I'll delete that app and then I'll re-download it because I'm like, I need to message my clients, like I need to post stories, and you know, it's like kind of the downsides of being a content creator. It's like, I want to share this information, but it's so addictive that it can like grab a hold of you. And like, I got on there and like clicked on the explore page, and it's like there's a dude getting shot, there's a dude there's like a fight going on, there's a car wreck. It's like all of that shit just, it wrecks your brain. So if you're someone who's trying to live like a simpler, you know, life, like it's not to say you're lazy, like you have your purpose, you have your creative outlet, but it's like go to the gym, you know, work your job or whatever, work your business, and then it's like just spend some time outside, wind down, get away from the electronics, and just live. So we're at 12:03, a little bit behind. I normally will eat around 10:30 or 11, but I started working on this YouTube video, and then time started flying by, and then did some other things as well. But today's agenda for us, like I think I said, was we're gonna install the flooring today. So we have to run to Lowe's. So luckily, since we're behind, we already had this food prepped. So I'm doing jasmine rice. We're gonna do beef patties. They're organic, I think 85-15. And then sauteed onions, and then some avocado. So as far as like my nutrition principles, I already talked about, you know, 99% of the time, nutrient dense whole foods. We rarely eat out, only because anytime we eat out, you don't know who cooked that food, where that food came from, what type of oils they use. And the thing is when you start eating healthier and you start eating organic foods, you're way more sensitive to other things. Like if I was to go get a pizza right now, I'd be wrecked for like 2 days, like digestion, everything. And especially like mentally, man, like that's the biggest takeaway that I've noticed after like eating healthier and cleaning up my diet, is how sharp my mental state is. And then when I like deviate, like I had family come in a couple weeks ago, and I got like ice cream, was eating a bunch of gluten, just a bunch of stuff with a lot of additives. And then for like 5 days, I like didn't feel like myself. And then I finally came back out of it when I started back, you know, eating clean. And then the other thing is whenever you like fall back into those addictions, it kind of like spirals, you know. So I was like stopping and getting, you know, things I normally wouldn't get, like things with added sugar. Like they were still like healthy snacks, but I caught myself like getting these things whenever I was just sticking to my meal plan. So point I'm trying to make is like, once you switch over to these type of foods, it's like just stay on course, don't slip up, don't do the cheat meals, because most of the time it's not going to be worth it. So I'm going to heat this food up, and then we are going to run to Lowe's, and then I would say third meal, technically the third meal, will probably be around 3 or 4. And then if I'm still hungry, I'll eat another meal, or I'll just do a smoothie and a snack with like an apple, almond butter, or, you know, something like that. So is the mic good? Are we rolling? Okay, guys, we just got back from Whole Foods. I'm not going to sit these on the counter because we set them on the floor in there. But we weren't planning on grocery shopping today. Normally we do it on Sundays, but since we were making a run to Lowe's, which is like 30 minutes away, it's literally right beside Whole Foods, so we went ahead and shopped. And I was like, well, I can add this to the video. So I'm not gonna talk through like in detail why I'm eating all these different certain foods. You kind of already know why. They're just real foods, they're good for you. They all have different benefits, but what I'm gonna do is just pull all these out, and you can see what a full grocery shopping trip looks like. So starting with, this bag looks like fruit. We got some oranges. My girl got these little oranges. It's apples. So I'm gonna be juicing these. We have the Nama juicer up there. I go through phases where I'll make fruit juices, but when it gets to be like spring and summer, I'll always just start wanting to make a juice, and then, you know, I'll do that either post-workout, sometimes pre-workout. We got organic lemons. We got some bell peppers. You guys know, if you watch my content, beef, rice, and peppers is my go-to. We've got some avocados. And then you cannot forget about the sweet onions. Those there. And my girl got some microgreens, and then some more greens. All right, I'm gonna put all this up, and then we'll do the next bag. Good? So my girl just made fun of me because I called these little oranges. They're actually mandarins. Sorry, babe. All right, for the second bag, we've got bananas. This is like a protein hack. A lot of people are worried about sodium. There's not too much sodium in this brand, but for our rice, instead of doing water, we do either a beef bone broth or we do a chicken bone broth. What you have to look out for though when you get this is that it doesn't just say chicken broth. The best way to know is by the amount of protein in it. So 10 grams for a cup, you know, you're adding, if we're doing 2 cups in our rice, you're adding 20 grams of protein, you know, just like that. So protein hack. The medjool dates, I just get the pitted ones. They're normally cheaper. All you do is split them and then take the pit out when you're making that smoothie. This protein has been on sale or last chance at Whole Foods for $18 for like 2 months. So I guess that's just like a marketing gimmick, but it's still cheap, so I keep getting it. For the healthy fats, we got organic almond butter. My girl got some cacao. She makes like an egg. What is it? Egg, banana, cacao, and what else?
That's blueberries and honey.
Blueberry and honey, yeah. And then we got the raw honey. And then also some chili lime seasoning. So that's the third bag. What do we got here? I think this is all the protein. Still going? Okay. We've been getting these because they're just easy. They're not super processed. They're basically just frozen ground beef that's already in patties. So they're like $8.49 a pound, which is about the same what we're paying for just fresh. So we got the ground beef, and then we do a lot of chicken thigh. So chicken thigh is fattier, but there's more flavor to it. And then whenever I consume a lot of red meat comes with more fat, so I might balance it. Like tonight for the second meal or the third meal, I'll just do chicken breast because it's higher in protein, lower in total fat. And then as a treat, like once a week, we'll do chicken wings. Chicken wings are only unhealthy whenever you're using, you know, the horrible oils, the canola oils, the vegetable oils. But when you just put, you know, some like lemon pepper seasoning, sea salt, onion powder, garlic powder, what else do we use?
Avocado oil.
Avocado oil. Like when you use that and then you air fry them, like it's like it's a healthy treat. And that's what I always say is like, when you eat healthy, you'll like find ways to make this stuff taste good to where you just crave like real food. Like I don't crave going out to eat because I'm like, I just make all that stuff at home anyways. And then for the milk, we just do plant-based almond milk. I don't know the research, man. Like people, like I think like Paul Saladino and some of these guys that are coming out with more like carnivore, like meat-based diets are kind of like hating on almond milk. I don't see anything wrong with it. And like I said, there's nothing, literally water, organic almonds, organic vanilla extract, and sea salt. So there's no gums, there's no fillers. It's pretty clean. This stuff is expensive though. That's the only downside. So there's been times where I'm like feeling guilty for using 11 or 12 ounces. These are almost $7 a bottle. So I'll like counterbalance it with, you know, some water, or like do half water, you know, half almond milk. So we have eggs. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to these. It breaks my heart every time I see them. But my girl gets eggs. She makes the egg thing in the morning. I used to consume those. I used to consume so many of those, and I never realized that was the reason I was getting headaches, that I was getting like rashes on my face, until I went through like this bodybuilding phase like 3 or 4 years ago where I was just eating like 4 or 5 whole eggs at a time. And then literally I had like an allergic reaction to my nose and everything stopped up. I had a crazy headache, had stomach pain for like 3 days, and it has never happened again since I quit consuming eggs. So we have more ground beef. And then we like these Grillo pickles. So I get the hot, like the blazing hot, super duper spicy. Don't eat the habaneros in there, they will smoke you. I made that mistake at work the other day, just eating a piece of it, and I swear I was drinking water for like 5 minutes straight. Grillos are good because, once again, like, start looking at the ingredients on your food. Like, look for the extra natural flavors and the added stuff to it. And you're like, why do they need to put natural flavor in pickles? Like, we were looking at the Whole Foods ones. They were $3.99 and on sale, and then she starts looking at the back of them, and it has natural flavors. Like, just because it says natural doesn't mean that, like, I think they can like blur the lines on that labeling. And then she likes some leaner ground beef, so 93.7. And then The rest is just gonna be for the smoothie. So we get a bunch of blueberries. I do mangoes, and then we have some stir fry. We're gonna try the frozen bell peppers. I would normally like to buy them fresh. We're gonna start giving these a try to see if we can save them on time. And then stir fry for the chicken stir fry. I actually just made a module showing how I cook that in the course. So if you guys have got the course, there are some new modules, so just check it out. All right, so for meal number 3, we have the Japanese sweet potatoes. And basically what I do is I just cut these up into like circles. And they're pretty thin. I don't know if it's focused. If you cut them much more like thicker than that, then it's just gonna be harder to cook, or they have to cook longer. So what I'll do is I take these, throw them in a bowl, and then I'm gonna make another tray of this. But so I'll cut like the end off, and then I'll just go right there, and I'll just start cutting the circles. But once I get them in the bowl, take the avocado oil, and then we're gonna take a cap, then run that over those. And then grab these. And I'll just go through and kind of flip these around, flip them a couple times. I'll just kind of do that. They're normally not this big. Like, these are massive Japanese sweet potatoes. Normally they look like this. So I'm able to put a lot more smaller pieces in there. Like right now this kind of looks goofy, me trying to do this, but I'm just not used to them being like that size. So we'll preheat the oven to 400. I'll cut up the rest of these. I'll put them on 2 different pans. We just use this unbleached parchment paper. I don't know if it is good for you. I just know it's better than aluminum foil. So that's what we use. We'll throw those in the oven. And then for the protein, we're just gonna do some more beef patties. I'm gonna do 2 of these, so that'll be 8 ounces of beef. And so that'll put me at near a pound of beef today. And then I might do 1 more meal of either chicken thigh or chicken breast. So my protein should be somewhere between like 150, 180 grams today. But if I do make another meal, I'll document it. So we're gonna get to cooking this. And then cook up the beef patties, and then I'll show you guys the end result. Right, these are almost done. Let's check on these. Watch the heat. So I just take these, stupid hot.
You can use a fork.
Yeah, but I'm hard-headed. This is faster. All right. These are actually cooking like perfect.
Like your flour oven mitt.
That's yours, that ain't mine. Mine's a cool one.
They're both mine.
Alright, so once you flip these, once you flip them, you will set it back to 20 minutes. And really, I need to go ahead and rotate the rack. That one was on the bottom first. So you'll rotate those. And then minutes and then we'll be done. So these will be finished a little bit sooner. Set them to the side with the onions, and then we will get the grillos out, and I'll probably do another avocado. There you go. We got 8 ounces of beef, and then we have the Japanese sweet potatoes, and then I'll do some pickles. I'm not gonna do an avocado. This is just already a lot of fat content. Also the sauteed onions. So that is meal number 3, and then I'll show you guys the last one, and then we're gonna end this video because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like 45 minutes. So, okay, so for the final meal, we are doing the smoothie times 2, and that pretty much concludes the video. I know today's full day of eating was like pretty boring, but I can't hide the truth. Like, that's what I eat. It does change on a day-to-day basis. Like tomorrow, I'll probably eat more chicken and probably chicken thighs. We might even do chicken wings, but it's the fruits, the vegetables, onions, sauteing, bell peppers, different types of protein, and then I'll snack on some fruit. I didn't show you guys some of the snacks we got from Whole Foods, but I ate a Chomps bar, and then I'll also had, I think it was a coconut water. So I'll do things like that here and there, but for the most part, this is the diet. I hope you guys found value. Like always, appreciate y'all watching. Talk to you on the next one. Peace.